Okay, we are back with video number 2 of the Frank interview series. So, first question. What changes did you notice in me first? And the examples given were looks, mood, confidence, whatever. Physical things. What was the first things you started noticing in the beginning?
I think the first things in the beginning, you were actually, the first few weeks, kind of depressed and down because you were just waiting to lose the weight.
And I was stuck in the house not feeling good.
From what I remember, the first month you weren't losing as much as you wanted. So you were upset and you're crying quite a bit and depressed.
That's funny because I lost like 30 pounds in the first month.
But you didn't think it was good enough, or I remember after the first month you said, is this all I'm gonna lose? Is this the end for me? Because you were hitting...
When I plateaued.
You were hitting those spots where you weren't losing anymore.
Mm-hmm. So basically he's saying I was emotional the first month, which is true. And as most people know, your fat cells contain your hormones, so I was kind of an emotional wreck for the first 2 weeks. And then during that time I was also pretty depressed, just being like stuck in the house and having that drain.
Yeah, I think the drain really made you
was rough.
Upset.
Once I got that out, I was like a different person, I think.
But I think the first month was the hardest, and the first 2 weeks was really tough.
But I think they mean like positive changes. Like physically, what was the first thing you noticed when I started losing weight? What was the first thing you noticed?
I think the first thing I started to notice was in your face thinning out. I noticed that first, and then probably once you started, we probably noticed at the same time when you weren't able to fit into all of your clothes, after that first month.
I think for a while I was thinking they looked okay, and you were kind of the one that was like, those don't fit you anymore, my jeans.
So probably when I started seeing the clothes look a little too big on you right after that first month.
And what would you say was the first positive thing you noticed change in mood?
In your mood? You seemed like you had more energy. Like you weren't on the couch quite as much, or complaining about taking care of, chasing Crosby around as much, our 3-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
So you just had more
energy
and not complaining as much of being tired.
Mm-hmm. Okay, has anything surprised you post-op in the last 6 months? Has anything surprised you?
I think what surprised me the most is how much you want to go to the gym now, and how you talk about wanting to be a trainer and all of that, because in the past
it's a total opposite.
We couldn't even talk about the gym without a fight.
Well, not like a bad fight, bickering.
But without tension.
Yeah.
So probably the biggest surprise is seeing your motivation to go to the gym.
That's a good answer. Has it been what you expected in the last 6 months? Has it met your expectations?
You've lost a lot more than I thought you were going to lose in the first 6 months, and so I guess it's...
And you didn't really know what to expect for me to look like either, probably physically.
I kind of did, but not completely.
But has it surprised you a little bit?
Yeah.
Because I remember you saying, maybe a month or so ago, that I'm thinner now than I was when you met me when I was a teenager.
Yeah.
So that's got to be a little bit surprising.
Right.
Okay. How did you feel about surgery the day of surgery?
I guess, I was concerned about you, but I knew you were making the right decision. I was worried, but not too worried where I didn't think that you shouldn't have done it.
And I got up and I had my mom go with me the morning of surgery, and then Frank came and stayed with me after I was done and in in the hospital room. How did you feel about it while I was in the hospital?
I felt bad because you were on all the drugs and you weren't yourself and you were sleeping the whole time, and it that part I didn't like just because it worried me. But again, I knew it was all going to be worth it for you. So.
And we watched movies that I don't remember watching.
I watched movies.
Okay, and how did you feel about the surgery the first week or two afterwards?
Like I said earlier,
I think this is people asking that, like, our maybe husbands who might be watching that their wives are gonna have surgery. So basically, you're telling them, like, how did you feel? What should they expect the first 2 weeks?
I would expect you would want to expect in the first couple of weeks that it's going to be a lot of work for you, because like Kristen said, she was in the bed most of the time or on the couch recovering, so it's going to be a lot of work, and especially if you have kids, so you're going to be tired for the first few weeks. So I would just get some sleep before. I expect no sleep the first few weeks.
And expect emotional ups and downs, because there were times when I was like depressed that I couldn't do more with our son, or depressed that I couldn't leave the house because I had a drain, and just not depressed, but just like cooped up and emotional because of it. And there were also times, I remember one day Frank came home from work and I was like crying and hugging you and saying just how thankful I was that I had the surgery, and I was so happy that I was like crying. Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not all bad, it's just emotional.
Yeah.
Alright, and last question. Did I ask you... Okay, what is your favorite change in me in the last 6 months?
Do you mean...
Like anything. What's your favorite thing that's changed for me, or physically, emotionally, attitude-wise, in our relationship? What's your favorite thing?
Probably for me that you're not as tired. You have energy to go do more stuff, so it makes it more enjoyable to me and less tension when we talk about going to do things, that you aren't just saying you're too tired to do something. So I would say that's the best thing.
And what's your least favorite change in the last 6 months?
Least favorite change? Trying to get me to run a 5K, because I've done it, and it's not fun to train to do that, so that's probably the worst part about it for me.
We've reversed roles. Now I'm the one pushing him to go to the gym and making him take barbell classes and stuff that he doesn't like doing.
Yeah, those classes.
At least I haven't made you take Zumba.
I'm not going to.
Okay, we'll be back for another video.